everybody, and welcome back to ServiceNow Expeditions. Yes, it's been a while. It took us a little bit longer to fix our navigation computer after it got an overload issue after the Knowledge 26 event, where we briefly landed with our team. In today's video, we are going to go to one of the commonly used things and concepts and features, I would say, which is called script includes. Hey guys, what is this about?
Hi.
Hi.
So then let's talk about script includes. What are script includes in ServiceNow? We have basically two different areas in ServiceNow where code is executed. The one part is the server side, and the other part is on the browser side. And script includes are working on the server side. And they are just containers for including some JavaScript code. It's a kind of configuration record, a container with some properties, and there's a field in this record which contains the script part. So maybe you want to open the list of all the script includes in the platform and have a look on this.
Well, let's go. So in the platform, if you open the application navigator as admin, you can look for script includes, and then under the system definition, you'll have the main module for them. But script includes where the name is coming from.
Yeah, I guess, but I'm not sure 100%. It's about how scripts were included in former times. There's a method in the platform which is called gs.include, and here you can enter the name of the script include. But today you don't need to do this anymore, because whenever you are referencing a script include name, it's included automatically by the engine. So you don't need to care anymore about including the scripts.
By the way, I've just heard that script includes, I started around Calgary, right? So I was not aware the script includes were not there from the beginning.
Yeah.
How come?
It's been around for quite a while, but it was introduced in Aspen, I believe. So those of you who's been around in the platform really long know that script includes wasn't always a thing. Back then, you had to script in a global table, which meant your scripting was executed everywhere on every transaction in the whole system, which was okay back then when ServiceNow was kind of a small platform, but nowadays it's too much going on. So that's not a viable solution.
And it was like a business rules or those kind
More
of
of that
different
kind.
thing?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, we already have here over 6,000 script includes, so a lot of code. And they are also, of course, attached to any applications. Many of them are living in the global scope, but most of them are living in any custom applications. Yeah, we can maybe open one of these script includes just to check.
Let me filter out, show matching our application. We already have a couple of demos prepared, so let me open the first one.
So curious question, what cohort do you belong to? Are you a utils person or a helper person?
No, this is a critical question. Honestly,
Yeah.
I changed my mind over the years. Today I tend to utils.
I think, by the way, if we go back, we open the list of all script includes, we can see that all of them are trying to follow the different notation, right? There are, at the end, you can try to identify what is the meaning or the purpose of the script include. Most of the stuff that we are using have like util, utils, or Ajax, which we can touch a little bit later. But there are lots of other things, and it looks like even ServiceNow have not really identified a naming convention for their stuff, right?
Yeah, it's difficult. The platform is so huge, and the teams, the product teams are working all over the world over many years, and I think there's no alignment globally.
Hey guys, I have another question. When you're working with the platform, how can you tell that the thing you see in the code is actually referring to a script include? Because I think our audience might know that there are different types of objects available on the platform.
Yeah, basically that's not so easy, because there are types of objects which are not represented by a script include. For example, pure Java classes, which can be used, but they are not living as a script include in the JavaScript level of your platform, but in the lower levels in the Java world, you cannot reach, but you can reference them. So the first way to go is to open the list of script includes and search for the name. If it's not contained there, then the chances are good that it's not a script include, maybe due to visibility reasons, but this is a rare case. And for example, if it's like 𝐂𝐇𝐀 daytime or 𝐂𝐇 record, you are using all the day without thinking about, this is not a script include, but a Java object. You can use it, but you cannot open the code for this.
Yeah, if I come here, right click in the new editor, right? Normally it's supposed to show me a pop-up telling open definition. But here I can only refer to the documentation. Probably a good hint, right? Why not? But you mentioned Java. What is this about? What do you mean Java? I thought we were working with JavaScript.
Yes, this is a bit tricky. So the ServiceNow platform is built on the Java technology. Java is an object-oriented programming language, one of the most popular ones in the world. And but we are not implementing in Java in ServiceNow. We are implementing in the JavaScript level and always in a kind of sandbox. What does this mean? There is an engine called Rhino. It's a Java engine which is simulating JavaScript, which is reading the JavaScript code and then translating into Java code and then executing this code. And this Rhino engine is still living right from the beginning under the hood. And it's the same Rhino engine before. It's built by Mozilla, if I'm not wrong. And we are using it without thinking about this. But we can use classes, JavaScript classes, the way how it's done here, but it's not a real JavaScript class. It's a kind of prototype, but this is a more sophisticated topic. At the end, you need to know we are writing JavaScript, which is performed then by the Rhino engine, and in most of the times, the script includes are representing JavaScript classes we are using.
All right. I mean, in this case, there is another question popping up, right? In JavaScript world, in the world of the web development, there are multiple versions of JavaScript which are following multitude of different notations, which is called ECMAScript, and which means in theory in ServiceNow I can always use the latest, right? Or not?
Unfortunately not.
Not really.
As I said, the Rhino engine is still a pretty old engine which provides the ES5 standard. It's a very old standard, and the boiler template which is generated when creating a script include here, see, for example, in the first line, var. And this is coming from this ES5 world, and it's still used here by ServiceNow when pre-generating the script include a boilerplate. In one of the latest releases, ServiceNow introduced a new version. You can see it in above the script field. There's something written like turn on ECMAScript 2021. And here you can now leverage more modern language constructs and language possibilities. But at the end, it's still the ES5 engine and how it's done under the hood. Between the JavaScript code and the Java code, there is another layer, the so-called transpiler. This transpiler is converting the modern JavaScript code to the old JavaScript code. But at the end, you don't need to know about this. This is done by ServiceNow, and you can use the modern version of JavaScript.
Wow, this is crazy. So we really have the ECMA notation, so ECMAScript or ES12 mode, which then is transpiled into ECMAScript notation, ECMA ES5, and then again to Java.
Yeah,
this sounds a little bit complicated. Yeah, but this is how it works. I mean, with the help of this, we have access to the modern ways of the development, and we can write a more efficient and more readable and compact code. Hey, Mike, before we go further, you're mentioning classes a lot. Can you elaborate what it is and why do we use this concept here?
Yeah, a class is a fundamental concept of any higher programming language like Java, TypeScript, C#, and so on.
But
And
I
also,
think it's worth mentioning that's more or less for those who are really following the object-oriented programming principles, right?
yes. In ServiceNow, beginners start learning a kind of functional programming. You are using prepared APIs built by ServiceNow, and you don't think so much about what is an object, what is a class. But at the latest, if we are coming to script includes, you need to know about classes and objects, because when creating a script include, ServiceNow is pre-filling the script field with a kind of boilerplate code, which is representing a class definition. Not like in a Java world, because here it's more complicated. In JavaScript, you will see this kind of prototype, but at the end, it's a kind of simulated class, and the class is a container which is encapsulating your business code, your business logic, and also variables. And the class is a kind of boilerplate which no meaning. You need to instantiate a class to create an object. The object is the living version of a class which holds the variable values. So you can create as many object as you want from a class, and they are all individual.
All right, so now let's translate it in a simple language for the simple people like me.
Yes.
So what is a class, right? A class is a kind of a blueprint which you use to build different objects. So, for example, let's take, I don't know, something is not related to the particular script include is on the screen, but let's say we have a blueprint for a spaceship, right? We all know that there can be multiple
spaceships. That's the definition of something simple.
Yeah, let's try this. All right, because we are in the universe of ServiceNow. So you have multiple ships, but all of them, let's say, they can have a different color. They can have a different crew setup. They can have a different cargo space. But what is common for all of them is the blueprint that they were made from, right? This blueprint just includes what kind of properties, let's say, the spaceship might have, and what this spaceship can do, which is the methods or function, right? And the object is that when the spaceship needs to be created or built, the factory just takes this blueprint and says, okay, we need to have the cockpit, we need to have the color, we need to have this, and this ship needs to be able to fly, to land, and to traverse ServiceNow universe. And then they build it, and each time they build it, let's say I as a requester or as a customer can come and order a slightly different color for the ship, but they will all be following the same blueprint. And that's, I would say, how you try and understand what is the class and what is the object.
Exactly.
So guys, I hope my creepy explanation of what class and object are helped you. You can always refer to the examples with the cars or with the dogs, right? And you can always prompt something like this to your ChatGPT or Copilot, and it will explain it to you as you are 10. So then maybe let's try and talk about this first demo script include.
Demo time.
Yes, demo time.
Okay. So let's have a quick look at this very basic script include demo A that I've constructed. It's a simple date validation function, which is very common use case in the ServiceNow world, and I will presume in programming in general. And this function, what it does is it takes two variables, A and B, and it's checking whether or not date A is before B, and returns true or false if it's before or after.
All right, let's open the console and see how you call it. For those people who have no idea why my background script console looks like this, please refer to ServiceNow utils for that amazing experience. All right, we have prepared a small code chunk that will demonstrate how this thing works. First of all, we declare two variables, x and y, one with the difference of 30 seconds between them. And then, what do we do then, Ula?
Here you invoke the script include by creating, as Mike said, a new object, date helper, which instantiates our script include. And then in the last line, you invoke the function by checking using the date helper object to use that function, date validation, and you give it those two parameters, y and x.
So if I now run it, I should get false,
Yeah.
which is correct because this one
It's
is
after.
after this one.
Yeah.
And if we flip them,
Switch around. Yeah.
this is how it works. And this is how you can call a script include
Yeah.
from the script, which then brings us to the final conclusion, right? What is a script include in a nutshell, right? It allows you to store the code, first of all, safely, right? Because let's say if you are performing a complex application development, you can hide the content of your script include between the different instances which you use to install your application. And then the most important and crucial thing, it allows you to reuse this code all over the place.
Be lazy.
However, you need to be, of course, aware of some limitations between global applications and global scope, right? And the scoped application. We will probably touch it a little bit later.
Just one last question, Ivan. In line 4, there is this maybe weird-looking notation of new, which is instantiating an object out of the class, but then before the script include name a prefix, which is a bit technical. What does this mean?
Okay, as I have just mentioned, that there should be awareness of the global application and scope application. This is an indication that this particular script include finds itself in a scoped application, and this is the prefix of this scope.
And where can I find this prefix? Is this
if you open the script include, you will see the field called API name. This is what you use in your code to call the script include. For example, if we would like to call a global script include from our scoped application, we'll have to use global instead of that.
Make it a habit of always prefixing with the scope.
Yeah, better like
regardless
this.
if it's global or not.
This habit will probably save you some time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, guys, this is it for today's session. We will going to continue exploring the world of script includes in our next videos. However, if you want us to make a specific turn in the specific area of this topic, please leave a comment. With this all, we wish you a great day and see you in our next videos. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.